Hi guys, Darren Simmons here, Game Institute. Made a few changes since you last came back. We're obviously doing the medieval village scene. I've decided, because I've created a terrain going all the way around it, I've decided to make this a daytime level because although the lighting was cool, it wasn't going to enable us to see all this cool stuff we've done. What I've basically done is made a terrain just with the brush tool, but it's quite a cool terrain. Just carving it away. I've turned off the fog. I've decided not to have water because it's just too demanding for the scene I'm doing. And I've decided to, let's show you what I've done. I've changed the skybox. I've turned the ambient color up, and I've altered the directional light setting. That's all I've done to change it. I've turned off the point lights and I've turned off the fog particles because they don't look as good in the day. Okay, and with the where are we? Directional lights here. All we've done is we've just increased the intensity from there to 1.76, I think, was it? 1.76. We've got soft shadows on a medium resolution. I think we can probably, we'll turn it up to high. Now, a couple of things that have been asked since. I just want to go over forward rendering and deferred rendering. Now, forward rendering is fine if you're not going to be having many lights in the scene. But I find deferred rendering is much better for the lighting. You can basically use the point lights, which doesn't really matter anymore because we're not using it. Forward rendering has to, for every light that's in the scene, it has to draw the scene again. So if you've got 10 lights in the scene, it's drawn it 10 times. With deferred rendering, it doesn't do that. Each light just draws a few centimeters that it's going to be affecting in front of it. A few polygons in front of it. So they're almost free in deferred rendering point lights. But I've decided after I just messed around with this new terrain I've made that it looked rubbish in the night time. You just couldn't see it, and it played havoc with the trees. So we see what we've got now. The directional light is in real time. It's real time directional. Okay, it's not baked and it's not on mix. We've got it in real time. So let's play the scene and see what it looks like in the daytime. Different sort of effect, but I quite like it. Again, I've turned the footsteps off, so straight away the sky looks nice and vibrant. We haven't got to worry about the fog distorting the windows like it was doing sometimes. Everything looks nice and bright. Obviously we can see inside the houses. We've got that lovely castle smoking at the top there. Lovely. And everything just looks nice and colourful. So I think we'll keep this a daytime scene from now on. You can see the obvious things like the bloom coming off the grass and from the lighting. Shadow wise, I think we're okay. We go too dark, this is going to look pretty rubbish. Now obviously this is demanding, because I've got the draw distance up 4 on all the terrain, which I wouldn't have if I was optimizing this for a game level. There we go. So we can see outside, and it's just created a really nice scene. So let's go back to our, where are we? Now if we do this, let's have a look. Right, so we're on 49 frames a second at the moment. Again, it's not optimized at all. Let's go to deferred rendering now. Sorry, forward rendering. Really need to turn the frame rate monitor off before I do that. So we bring up the FPS controller. Sorry, not FPS controller, the first person character. Always mix those two up. Okay. So we're in deferred rendering. I'm going to turn anti-aliasing off a minute. It's playing havoc with the trees. Okay, so let's basically go back to forward rendering. Remember we were talking about sort of 50 frames a second. Now I've not got many lights, so it'll be quite interesting to see how the forward rendering actually affects the frame rate and the speed of everything. If I click the play button, that would probably help. And straight away you can see we're having trouble. Okay, so not a big difference. It's still slower. We're at 30 frames a second instead of 50. But because we haven't got all those lights, it's not double like it was before. Now, obviously forward rendering, the pluses of forward rendering is obviously you can use as much anti-aliasing as you want. Deferred rendering, I think the anti-aliasing can only be put on as a post effect. So that you can see we're having all sorts of trouble. Obviously we're not in the player build. Now, there we go. So we're dropping to 26 frames a second. But what we haven't done is bake the occlusion. Okay, so what we'll do, still in forward rendering, go to the occlusion tab, go to the bake settings, and we will just do the default perimeters, which are this, and we will bake, make sure we've cleared it first. So we're going to bake the occlusion now. If we go up here, we can probably see it baking. Here we go, it's starting to bake over there, look. Now, occlusion culling is really useful in closed scenes, hospital scenes, corridor shooters, because it can occlude really well, because it can see to the end of the corridor and it knows perfectly well not to render what's around the corners. Much more difficult for it to get right in a big open scene like this, which is why a lot of open world games or open world MMOs such as Elder Scrolls Online or DayZ or things, obviously the frame rate can tank pretty hard because you're open. You probably find when you go in the interiors of those games, they're actually fine. Much more difficult for occlusion culling to work on the open level games. The Witcher 3 has done a very good job using the occlusion culling there. They've managed to master it. I think they use Umbra. I don't think they've got their own occlusion culling system, but I can't guarantee that, so don't quote me on that one. Instantly, I haven't got the chat screen tonight, guys, as well, so if you've got any questions, if you just ask them in the chat screen, and when I come out of this, I'll be able to go back to the web page and I'll be able to check like that. Well, first of all, let me get off of there. There we go. And we're using streaming software, we're using OBS. And I should be streaming at a resolution of 1080, which is, for most people, should be okay. Those who have slow internet may need to buffer it a bit. So as you can see now, it's working out the occlusion culling. We've got the camera preview here as well of what it's actually culling. And down here, in the far right hand corner at the bottom, you can see it's computing the occlusion. And one other tip as well, if you're doing this, when you go and you just continuously bake different occlusions to test different scenarios out, every now and again go into your library folder in your assets and just delete the occlusion data, not the folder, just the data inside, because it builds up to the point where it's really hard to delete if you go over, I don't know, a gigabyte or something. So we've nearly computed it. Now if you remember at the bottom of the hill, we dropped to as low as 23 frames a second. So we'll go to the bottom of the hill when this is baked. Come on, you can do it. The terrain was just completely sculpted by hand with the terrain brush. What I did is I set with the height tool, I just set a generic height of what I wanted the terrain to be. So I said I had it set to about 25 or 30, I think, which I think is meters, or could be yards or feet, I'm not sure. Yeah, it might even be yards. Then what I did, I basically went over the terrain, which is all nice and flat now, but at a certain height. I went over it just randomly with the height brush. And just with the raised brush terrain, just raised terrain in different bits. Then I went back and just sculpted in, just taking the height down a bit, I just sculpted into the terrain, and then put a smoothener over it with a smooth brush. And that basically gave me a very realistic looking terrain. And it took me about 20 minutes, I suppose, to do the whole terrain. The mountain range at least, anyway. Then I went over and I put trees and bushes all the way and grass around the village. And then I just went afterwards and just raised it so it looked a bit more natural. So we just wait for this occlusion to bake. It's taken quite a while. go down into it and we can see it working. There we go. Now, if you're in a corridor shooter or like an FPS shooter, you know, or somewhere like inside, for instance, a hospital level I did in the sewer level, you can actually you can go even further and make the smallest occluder smaller and the smallest hole smaller again, and you can really bump up the frame rate. As I said, not that useful on this particular level. Go back to the get rid of that. I haven't done what I did to this terrain. I haven't done it to this, but that one needs to be sculpted because it looks pretty rank. So we can we don't want to mess too much with the scene when it's baking the occlusion, because anything we do, the calculations will be wrong. So any changes you make, you really need to rebake the occlusion. Otherwise, you're not going to get any benefits from the frame rate boost that occlusion gives you. Okay, I think we've baked now. Yeah, so it only took up 4 megabytes. So now we're going to go to that same place at the bottom of the hill. Remember, we're 23 frames a second in forward rendering. I'll find out where we are in a minute. Okay, right, that's for range, so it must be over this way. Of course, we've got a really infinite jump on this thing. Again, it may have only boosted it by 5 or 10 frames a second, but we should see. So we're already at 60 frames a second now, but when we turn around it should make a difference. There we go. So we've gone from 23 frames a second to 50 frames a second. And my bet is if we go to deferred rendering now with those same settings, the sky looks a bit shit actually. I need to set the directional light up facing the sun. I'm not sure if I've done that properly. So now we'll go to deferred rendering using that same occlusion. To deferred. Let's try that. I've still got the fog and particles in case I want to go back to the night time. Right. So well, we're already about 10 frames a second higher here because we were on about 45. We're at 64. So, but it does, I don't know, it looks really nice with the castle in the background. I'm quite happy with it. So let's go and see if we can find... Again, this is without any tone mapping or contrast or anything. Right, so same place, we're at 65 frames a second. So again, deferred rendering in this instance has given us an extra 15 to 16 frames per second over what we had before. But look, in daytime you can really see all the grass and all the terrain look nice. Okay, this I didn't really make this to walk in, as you can see. There's too much grass here. But so you see how those mountains look very kind of almost like nature's cut into them. Let's go a bit closer so you can see what I mean. You see they've been cut, all these bits in the middle here. They've just been done with the brush, just indenting kind of a... You see like this? I love the terrain, I absolutely love it. So let's go back over to where we're going. Yeehaw! Now we've not done any of this yet. This bit's not been done, so that's why it looks like crap, basically. So we go back up here. Yeah, and we're keeping above 60 frames a second, and this is a very intensive scene as well. Different shades of grass coming in and out. Okay, so let's go back up to where we were. Look at the detail. It already kind of looks like a level, proper level. Right, and what I'm trying to find is a bridge up and down. There should be a bridge here somewhere. I'll find it. Again, these assets are brilliant. That's Polybrick and K4. Really cool. Only thing with K4 is you can't go inside. Now when you come over here, this is the biggest hit here. You've got the whole city being rendered there, and we're down to 40 frames a second. Now you can probably notice on my GPU usage, we're only using 47% of the GPU. Okay, we've got 17%, that's doing nothing, that's because I've got 2. And it's using the other one slightly, but to know. We've got CPU usage is quite high on most cores, but you probably find that this is probably due to CPU as well as GPU. Anyway, so what I want to do, I just want to go over and make a bit of terrain a minute so you can see what I'm talking about. Just get rid of this overlay. So go to a clean piece of the map over here. We'll pick the terrain tool. Where are we? Terrain. I pick this one here in the middle. Paint height. Okay, we've got raise and lower terrain, paint height, smooth height. Okay, so we're going to start with paint height, and we're going to do something like 25. Going to get a nice big brush. And we're going to make a terrain, all at the same height. Very relaxing. Okay, well, we'll make it going around a bit here. There we go, that should do it. Okay, so we've got our general terrain. It's far too smooth, so we're going to go to the paint height now. We're going to lower the brush slightly and the opacity a lot to about 10, 9. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to go over and randomly lift bits. Now what I normally do is start from the back first. Like this. See, it's taking shape now. Switch back to the tool. There we go. So that sort of thing. There we go, so we've got lots of different sort of heights. There we get that there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the original height tool. I'm going to take the brush down. I'm going to take the height down to about 15. I'm just going to dig into the terrain at the bottom. Like this, and go up a bit like that. And you can see what's happening to the terrain now. Let's turn it down a little bit actually, to 12. It's kind of corroding it. Now there are third-party tools to do this, and they're very good. But again, we're not working with those, so we're going to be using this method. I want to kind of make it look weathered. Oh, unit's playing up a minute. Just going to smooth that bit off a bit a minute. Like that. What we're doing is just randomly adjusting all the heights. to make it kind of look like it's been corroded by the weather. So you see us making a pattern now. Very relaxing. This kind of a sweeping across movement seems to work the best. Again, this is only my method. This is not this is not a known and tested method. This is just the way I've found that I can get the best look from it. It's kind of an artistic preference, I suppose, really. But if you haven't got the tools, there we go. Look, so you can do all that corrosion. So I did that like that. There we go. Something a bit weird going on there a minute. Okay, so any bits that are jaggy, which I can't really see any. That bit's a bit weird there. Just go over and just smooth it out. Like that. I don't want any big holes. So then what we can do is just go to our grass. Nice big brush. Bigger brush than that. And just lay some across. Like this. Bit of different colour. There we go, so you've got that sort of thing. If there's any bits you don't like, so I don't like that bit there, we can go back to our height tool, put it back to about 20. And kind of do that sort of thing there. And then we've already got some trees. We can go to the bushes. There we go. That, trees. That's basically how I make my terrains. But I mean, it does look pretty good. Too many there. So then if we let's have a look. Bring the first person camera over. Controller, sorry. Where are you? Right there. Play it and we'll see what our terrain's like. If you're going to be walking on this terrain, you'd need to spend a bit more time smoothing. Wee-hee! Okay, where's it put me? It's put me at the bottom. There we go. Now that, to me anyway, it looks like something that's been handcrafted and taken a while to get right. When you saw what I did, I mean, it was just really random, but it's just what an awesome effect it makes. I'm not sure we're going to be able to jump up the terrain. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, look. A lovely developer jump. There we go. I mean, it just looks really nice. As I said, I didn't make that terrain to to walk on anyway. So that's what I did, and obviously I did that. Or basically did it all the way around here. See? But I think the one we just made is actually better than this one, to be honest. But I did have to make more. No, it's okay. It's cool. So that's basically how I did that. So it was nothing snazzy, nothing that brilliant. So what we want to do now is we want to, right? Oh, incidentally, I decided to not bother with the water in there. I'm pausing because I'm just wondering whether. Okay, let's find the water again in a minute. Just want to try something. Well, we'll get rid of that one. Get rid of that one too. And let's go to our standard assets. Which is here. Here. Let's go to our water. In our environment. Just check that is definitely the one a minute. Whoops. Okay, forget that one. Just do the one I know works. Okay, not able to. Something playing up with Unity a minute. There we go. Lift it up. There we go. Now let's see how that affects our frame rate. So a little pond, like a little lake, go fishing in. And I forgot I moved to FPS controller. Okay, so let's put that. Let's find where it is a minute. Oh, it's over there. Unity's having a bit of a tit fit a minute. Hold on. Oh, Jesus. Oh, thank God. Moved to terrain by mistake, guys. Oh, that's a big mistake. That's what I want to move. Christ, no wonder it was taking ages to move. Right, so we want that one. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, let's see what it looks like now. Didn't help that I had the camera preview on. Okay, the camera was not in the right place, obviously. It's really having trouble with this. Oh, of course, rendered bloody terrain. That didn't help. Come on. Alright, let's try that. Doing it again. Okay. Not sure why it's doing that. Let's put it back over here, which is where it was when we started. Okay, let's try that. Okay, that's a bit weird. So what I'm going to do is I've got a horrible feeling when I accidentally moved to terrain. I think it may have messed around with everything. Even though I put it back in the right place. Let's double check. Oh my god, can I turn that camera preview off? There. No, it's all in the right place. How weird. Try again. Okay, what we're going to need to do, I'm going to need to load in the last save, unfortunately. And I hope this fixes it, I really do. Okay, let's see. There we go. Something had bungled in my version. I don't know what the hell it was, but it's all right now. Right. It does mean now we have to go and put the water in again. Right, so we know that works. The only thing we've lost is the terrain I made to show you guys, so that's not a problem. Okay, so let's put the advanced water in again. Jeez. There it is. Lift it up. Let's just scale it up a minute. No, that was wrong. There we go. So, let's see what that gives us. I tell you what will give us a shitty frame rate, but we'll see. Right, now obviously we haven't got the occlusion baked because we didn't save that. So that's why we were at 45 frames a second. I think what also interferes sometimes is the streaming software, so that's not helping. So we need to find our little bridge. Oh, the mushrooms look nicer in the sun, don't they? There we go. Need to put a signpost there, really. Yes, we're definitely getting some stutter now. I probably need to reboot the computer, to be honest. So we've got that there, down there, and we've got that down there too. Looks very cool. Let's go and see what this water looks like in game. It looks very cool. I think, to be honest, the wave factor is a bit high, since it's just a pond, so we'll go into the water setting, turn those off. Go into our water, and we need to, where are we? Need to think this a minute. Just 2 seconds. Let me think. Okay, water quality high. I'm just trying to remember when I put the Nighttime Water Pro, there's lots of settings for the waves and everything. I don't seem to have that here. Okay, so let's have a look at it in the inspector. Okay, I'll have to have a look into that because definitely know that the last water race, which was I believe was Nighttime Pro. Where is it? Standard Assets Environments, isn't it? Alright, we did Nighttime Pro, which is probably this one. Okay, well perhaps I was imagining it. Perhaps I was imagining it. I'm absolutely sure there was something to control the waves. Okay, well let's not worry too much about that. I'll look into that. Perhaps it was the simple water, was it? If you can remember where those settings are, guys, just I haven't used water for a while. If you can remember, just put it in the comments. I could do with the help, god damn it. Okay, so we'll leave the water there for now. So what we need to do is bring some of our buildings over now. Just to save time. Actually, no, we won't bother saving time. We can do this just randomly. So we'll go to our asset folder. We'll go to our medieval village. Go to our prefabs. We'll go to our pre-made. Actually, what's the level chunk? Oh, I can see what that is. That's our workspace. You can see if we've got all these here. So you could, if you wanted to, set that out there. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do that. Go back to prefabs. We've got the house pieces, so you could build the houses if you wanted yourself. Got them here, look. Floor, main part of the house. You can put those in yourself. But why do that when we've got such beautiful houses already made? So we'll go to prefabs, pre-made. That's what I'm going to do for now. I'm just going to turn the water off. Alright guys, I'm going to turn the water off. Hold on, if I can get to it, house. Yeah, Unity is kind of slowing to a crawl here. So the water. Is the water advanced? Oh, of course. Aha. Where's the water? Still got these waters in there, haven't I? Right, we've got the water advanced reflection scene camera. That is going. I'll tell you why. The water will still look okay, but we will basically save a lot of frame rate. Alright, so water advanced. We're going to turn that off for now. And probably find Unity is going to behave a lot better. Yeah, it is. So let's start going around this way. So we've got these little houses here. Let's pick a nice one. That's not bad. Can only be a small one here. It's actually a shop. Put that like that. Perhaps a bit close. Okay, and then we can put perhaps a little hut next to that one. Like that. We'll rotate them in the proper directions afterwards. Okay. That one there. We can bring more terrain up, that's not a problem. Behind it. That's a little bit dangerous. We can do that, that's not a problem. So I'm just trying to find something a little bit different. We'll put that one perhaps there. That's quite a big one. Yeah, that one's got a bigger window. That would be the back. So just one. Actually, we won't put anything there. We'll put a garden there. Let's go down to the bottom. Pick something from here. Here we go. Make something a bit grander here. That one. It's quite a big shop there. Actually, let's go right down to the bottom. Put a barn here. Like that, and then that's going to be too big for that one. Actually, I do like that house. Let's put that house here. Like that. Okay, we leave a little bit of space. We can put grass either side of it. Will this one fit in here? I hope so. Yeah, it will, quite nicely. Perfect. We can move that right the way along. There. Right, let's go and put a garden in here. Where's our gardens? Just so much quicker to chat for it. There we go. So we can put one like this. And one like this, perhaps. And you can just change it by taking bits of vegetables out, or perhaps putting grass in this one. There we go. We'll put it like that. Yeah, that's cool. So outhouse. No, shed. Lots of different types of sheds. What's that one there? Yeah, that kind of fits in with it. Like that. Let's link these up. Right, something really big. Something really big now. Nice big house. Ooh, that's a big one. Hold on, not the one we put there. No, it's not. Okay, this is a good house. Not sure where we're going to fit it in there. Yeah, we may get away with it when we span it around. Dodge him around a bit. Okay, we're going to have to move this one a bit. Move that one along. Spin it around. And move it across. And then move this one along. Yeah, I think that's okay. Right, now we do this side of the road. That's got a cool one. Like that. Spin it around a bit. So all we're really doing here is just placing them in a position we think is going to work for the particular level. That's all we're doing. Which is about that. Similar but different colour. Move it over a bit. Back a bit. Spin it around a bit. Forward a bit. Back a bit more. Over a bit more, and I think that might be okay. Actually, no, we'll move this one back a bit. The streets are getting a little bit too narrow. Like that, okay. Okay, let's do something a little bit different now, because we're all a little bit similar tonight. Okay, that's quite a cool one. Small window, big window. That's the one. Hold on, right, so we're coming along the path. I need to go back there and come over a bit. Still too close. Like that. There we go. So go this one. Got any tool ones anywhere near? No, so put another tool in there. Apartments. My wife texted me. She knows I'm actually doing something at the moment. I don't know why she's texted me. What is she like? There we go. That sort of thing's quite cool. Let's go up here. Oh, I like this one. Might be a little bit big to fit in. We shall see. We kind of want it to be busy. It's just going to look a lot better if the busier it is. But we don't want it to be, that one needs to be at least there. So this one needs to come around about there. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, looking at it now, I think we need to bring this one back over. Yeah, about that. And then we can put a garden here again. They can share that one. Okay, that's one we haven't seen. And it's blue. I like it. Okay. Yeah, we're okay there. We'll bring it over slightly. Like that. So now it looks like we've got a round circle here. Yep, yep, yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go and make that a little bit more natural looking. Let's grab some grass. Drop the opacity down a bit. Start from the beginning. It's a very good place to start as the song goes. Oh, jeez. Now that actually frightened me. Again, that's a tool having a mind of its own. Like this. I mean, obviously, if I was making this for a game, I'd be taking a little bit more time, obviously. Leaving a space for the door there. Probably better doing it from above, actually. No, perhaps not. And it's done it again. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. I'll do the other shades of grass because we've been over that a few times. I'll make the grass a bit more realistic offline. It's going to get boring otherwise. If you're not already bored shitless already. So I hope you're not. Because I'm having a ball. There we go, we can leave that there for now. So then we've got this area here. Like so. Like that. That's going to be going inside the houses. We would have to tidy it up afterwards, but seeing it's not going to be an actual game we're making, we don't need to worry too much about that. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much done what we want there. I'll make the brush a bit bigger actually. It's taking too long for my liking. Okay, now we'll go back to small brush again. a brush again. There we go. So we're pretty much done there now. Just a little bit in front of this house. That's fine. So we'll go and we're just gonna have a walk around there now. I don't know where the first person camera is, to be honest. Actually, I tell a lie. I just noticed just as we press play, then I noticed there was quite a bit that I haven't done. This area here. I think what we'll do with this area, I think whatever we're going to put in here, we'll make it nice and green and luscious. Alright, let's try that. Obviously no bushes or anything. Think, Darren, where are we? I'm guessing we need to go over this way. Yeah, it looks like it. Again, remember, we've got a little bit of lag in frame rate, but that's because we haven't baked any occlusion yet on this one. There we go. So now it's all looking a little bit more villagey. Yes. Okay, that's looking much cooler. So you can imagine this is going to be quite an epic, big scale, open sort of world level. That's where the water will be, because I forgot we've got that turned off. So what we're going to do now, I'm just going to bring up, I'm just going to take off the anti-alias in a minute. I'm not sure I'm liking what it's doing. Alright, so we'll take that off and we'll try it again. It's just terrible. I just can't remember where the hell to go. Oh, shortcut. Look at that. There. Now, without the anti-aliasing on, it's kind of... You've got more jaggies, but it's not fuzzing over everything. So I think we'll leave that off while we're making this. Everything's a lot greener. Not greener, sorry. Everything's a lot clearer with it off. So I think we'll... Oh my god, Assassin's Creed. I like it. I'm making an Assassin's Creed again, that's it. I'll Gary to write me some scripts, drop some characters in there, make a few quests, and off we go. So there we go. We'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this creation of a medieval environment. I'm certainly enjoying it. If you liked it, join me for part 7. I'll see you next time.